Hello, how are you? In this video I'll be doing the thing that I meant to do now for years, but I decided to put off just because I don't even know why. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it in a video, but I have no idea, like all my videos just mix in together in my head at this point, like I don't know what's going on. I'll be practicing how to draw shoes finally, like I know how to draw shoes, like kinda. I mean, one thing is knowing how to draw the shoes, another thing is knowing how to draw shoes, you know? Like actually make shoes that are interesting and you're like, wow, those look really cool. I don't know if you've seen like the art of certain artists, they like make cool illustrations of, I don't know, like sort of pop art, I would say it's kind of like that. And they like make really cool shoes design, they draw like really well. I wanted to go kind of like that direction. So as you can see here, I'm drawing in my sketchbook at first. Later on we will be making a full illustration. At first I wanted like to get a feel for it. I picked out some references on Pinterest on another account because mine is still dead, and I wanted to go like with 3 shoes, like a heel, a normal flat one that's sort of like a normal like shoe. The heeled one is like more a boot than anything, and then like a combat boot, like that's very boot, you know, when you think boot, you think boot. Unless you think of cowboy boot, then it's like a whole nother thing. So I noticed a thing with myself. I can only draw shoes if I start off by drawing the heel. Like the back part of the foot, you know, that part. I can only draw shoes if I start there. If I don't start there, I don't know, it just turns out wrong. So I noticed another thing while actually practicing this, which is usually when I try to learn something, I like try to memorize it as shapes because it's easier for me that way, okay? I like, don't judge me. And I realized that heels, for some reason, like their front part of the foot, it like sort of leans up, sorta, while like the normal shoe that you see me drawing here, like I mean that's not very normal, that's very punk, but like the usual like shoe, like an all-star for example, it usually has like a very flat and round part in front, while boots, like combat boots at least, or these really heavy ones that you will see me drawing right now, they sort of like slouch down in the front. It was an interesting thing that I've noticed. It will be very useful as well when I draw shoes going forward, and I really hope that I actually draw shoes going forward. The only way that I will be able to remember this whole thing here, my practice, is if I draw for the next few days like some interesting shoes and make some, like put some focus on there, you know. If I just decide to do this and then nothing with it, then I will forget, because I forget things very easily. So let's hope that I won't and actually use this knowledge, right? And another thing, if you want to make your shoes interesting, you just kind of have to put like lines on it, like add some stitches, just so that it has some interest. But that isn't very practical, especially if you want to make like, for example, a comic or want to draw faster. That would be very inconvenient to just like keep drawing a bunch of stitches and add details. And we will go into the illustration now. For this illustration, I drew a little composition in my sketchbook right below where I did the practice. I just didn't record it because, as I mentioned, I am not comfortable with like a camera on me. I would just get too nervous and I wouldn't be able to draw correctly if I had the camera there. So I just kind of do it off camera. I'm sorry, okay? But I still like sketch it out here just to make it better. Like I just make a quick sketch just to get a feel for the concept that I'm going for. So here you can see I'll be drawing an OC that you don't know unless you follow me on Instagram, because I showed them once there, but I didn't really talk much about her, so I don't know. But I'll focus on the concept. The concept is very simple. I'll add like sort of kind of perspective. I mean, by eye, I'm not using any guidelines. I just decided to go straight into it because I had no time to like try to figure out the point and lines and stuff. I just went for it. Of her sitting down and showing you her boots, or just the boots being the main focus, right? They're the closest thing to the viewer, so it's a thing you will notice, I think, almost instantly. That and her hair, obviously, but we will get into that later. So there's not much really to the whole concept. I just knew, like, since I'm drawing shoes, the shoe is the main focus, so might as well, right? And I'll be drawing boots because that's part of her character. And who is this? Who is this? So her name is Vundi. I don't even ask. Okay. As you know, I always make like a mix of words and stuff that like represent the character. This character is based on a musician, a real artist, and I don't know. I'm kind of embarrassed. I don't know why. I'm embarrassed. Sorry, but they're based on a real artist. Their name is Angel Diaz, or her artistic name is Viva Melancholia. She is, I don't know if they use they. I just use they because it's like neutral, right? But I know that she is a woman, so use her, she, her. So she is an artist that makes like sort of dream-like music. I love her sound so much, and her look. Her gothic, like vampiresque look, it's just to die for. I love her so much. Everything about her art is just marvelous. So I've been obsessed with her, especially her hair. Her hair is to die for. Everything. I love her so much. Like, everything about her, absolutely amazing. So since I've been really into that, like, she does this cobweb makeup. I have that just glued in my brain, and I need an OC with short hair with a cobweb-like makeup. But I knew that I wanted this character to have red hair because as I've been imagining parts of my story, right? Because she appears in the same story as Selena does, and Jealous, and Cave, and she, and everyone else. All of them usually have long hair. I needed someone with short hair, and every time she appeared in my head, she'd have red hair, so I just went red hair. But since I already have like Cherry that you saw in the last video, I couldn't like, I used purple, you know, and that story is like already way too purple, so I was like, okay, so how do I make these not like really mix up, you know, because you could confuse them. I would say I have sort of a same face syndrome. It's my style, you know, when I'm drawing. Like, I personally can differentiate my characters really well, but like people IRL can't for some reason. I don't know, maybe it's my issue or their issue, I don't know. You think I know what's going on? I don't. So since I already have like Cherry and she is cherry, right? When I think of red, I think cherries. So I was like, okay, let's pick another fruit, I guess. I just went straight for the fruit, so I was like, okay, another fruit, that's red, apple. So I went straight for apple. There is a thing that I want to make, which is a bracelet made of little apples, because I saw that online and now I want it. That's my whole life in a phrase. So I've been thinking of that, and I was like imagining a whole scene where like she is part of a band. I don't know the band's name yet, but she is the lead singer of a band. And she plays guitar, and she's really cool and punk and whatnot. And she's like really into Selena's music, right? As Delina. Delina is her artistic name. Let's not get into it, okay? It would be complicated to explain. Or should I? I don't know. It's basically, it came from a joke between her and she just stuck to it. So she's really into Selena's music and thinks that she's amazing and is a huge inspiration for her and whatnot. And then they meet at some point, right? So then she's like super nerd and whatnot, and Selena's just like really chill and doesn't really care. So as she befriends her, Selena befriends this girl, and this girl tries her best to stay cool and keep calm. And then Selena makes her a little bracelet made of apples, because I imagined that bracelet, right? I love that bracelet. And I was like, she's going to fall for her instantly at that point. So yeah, She loses it. Plot twist, wow. Anyways, she is part of a band, so she is very punk and very cool, right? So she wears like very outfits, I don't know. This is the most basic one that I could think of. When I think of her, first of all, I think that she's a lesbian, so like that's great for her, I guess. But when I think of lesbians, my brain just instantly goes for flannel shirts. I don't know why. It's just an automatic thing. So I was like, okay, I'll just include it, I guess. So she has a flannel shirt. And since I went for the apple route, like I went for green and red since Cherry U already has like the purple and red part, so I went for some green. Green also contrasts red really well, so it matches, it works, and I'm happy about it. So she still has like black in her design, and for my black I use dark purples, right? Saturated purple, dark. Wow, I'm so great at explaining myself. And like, but those are accent colors though. That's more so to like have black in there so that it shows that she is like I don't know, cool punk, I guess, or something along those lines, like rock and roll. I don't know. I should have added like accessories to her, like chains and spikes and whatnot, but I didn't, so I don't know. For the color palette, other than this, like I already had like red. I wanted to, like her hair to really pop, and since I didn't want her hair to just kind of be red, I also had her shorts to be red. I wanted her colors to really pop, so as you can see, I shaded the same way that I've shaded in the last video, which is the complicated shading, because I like fucking myself over, I guess. I love to suffer. You know, as I make these videos, I just slowly realize that I'm just a masochist. I don't know why I like making myself suffer so much, but I do, I guess. So I went the complicated route. I chose my own colors. I wanted this to be very colorful. I kind of was going for that pop art sort of look that I see people do when they draw, like focus on the outfits of a character that they draw or on the character itself. I wasn't going to make a background, so I didn't really start off with the background. I don't know, as much as I added colors and tried to render it with colors and kept adding and adding, it just never looked as colorful as I wanted it to be. Something just wasn't right, so I kept adding more and more and more, and it just wouldn't work. The only moment that it starts working is after I overpaint. I add the texture layers, right? And those make the colors pop. So here you can see I'm starting to overpaint the illustration. I didn't show you how I did the hair completely because honestly, there's not much to see. It's just a bunch of lines. I just kind of paint over it a bunch and I choose some colors and whatnot. There isn't much for you to see in that case, so I try to make the makeup more gothic and darker in general, even though I think that I could have made it still darker. I started rendering the eyes again, as I used to do back in the day, because I missed doing it, and honestly the eyes are like a huge thing in my art. I don't know why I stopped rendering them, because like as I draw different species, they have different like types of pupils, different shapes, and at some point I just stopped doing that, even though it's like a huge part of the whole thing. I don't even know why I stopped. I mean, I know I was getting lazy and I didn't have time, but look at me now. I'm here, am I not? I'm on time, am I not? So I can do this. I just don't want to. Anyways, I'm just done with myself. And what was I even saying? I don't know. I just kind of went in, like overpainted the whole thing, kept adding colors and adding more and more colors. And it just never was enough. It just felt too muted. So I just left it for a bit, went onto the background, did some stuff, then added like the overlay layers and textures. That will actually work for this. So she has lipstick. Usually when I do my characters, I don't add lips, or I just like add some shadow to show like, oh, this character has like lips, that's cool, that's great, they have a mouth. But like I want to add lipstick for her in a way, because usually I do the composable lip on my characters because that's what I like, I guess. Even when like I wear lipstick, which I don't, because My lips are dry as fuck and always are eaten because I cannot stop eating myself. And they're like really fucked up and choppy and just... I should stop, but I'm way too used to it, so I just continue. And when I wear lipstick, I do the composable lip because my upper lip is the only part that really can take lipstick without looking fucked up. So yeah, and I like it as well, so it works. And that's usually what I draw, right? Like for example, Cyrelia Sorrow, the mother of the president, has like the composable lip, and like I think Lufton was the only other character that I actually drew like both lips on, the upper and bottom one. And I don't know, even when I draw like Selena wearing makeup, she also has like only the composable lip. It's just what I prefer, I guess. But for her I wanted to go with both, but I did make the upper one still darker than the bottom one because I think that she would get inspired, because like Selena gets inspired by Cyrelia, right? Cyrelia like is from the 40s and whatnot, and Selena's into that, I guess, for that whole vintage look, so she like goes for that. Since she is into Selena, then she goes for kind of like that. So it's a whole like, you get inspired by an artist, and they get inspired by the artist, they got inspired by an artist. It's a process, okay? Just don't mind me. So Selena calls her Apple because I don't know, her colors are very apple-y, I guess, and I call her Apple, but her name is Vandi. Why? I mixed up the names Candy and Viva from Viva Melancholia's artistic name, okay? I just exist, okay? Just leave me, please. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I can't. Anyways, I'm exposing myself too much, so I add these white lines to make it really pop and also differentiate certain shapes from each other, for example, so that the boots don't mix together and you can actually see like both of them. Plus like outline her so that she pops more from the background and whatnot. And I added textures to the background just so that like it has a more pop kind of feeling and like add some interest and detail into it so that it's not just one color, right? And then I just splatter on more colors here and there and overlay layers, and makes it really pop and very colorful and a lot of stuff. So here is the finished illustration that you will see in 3, 2, 1 now. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed the illustration. I hope you like her as well, because I love her. So this is it, I guess, for me. I hope you have a nice day and night, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye!